Hello, my name is Anna Brees. I'm here in the South Wales, in the Vale of Glamorgan, publishing live to Penarth Social Media TV about a subject that I think is a lot of people are going to really relate to. It comes down to behaviour with your children. What is sort of naughty behaviour and what could possibly be an indication of something that maybe needs more help, that could be a little bit more serious. So I'm here with Nicola. Introduce yourself, Nicola. You've got an event coming up, but you're a bit of an expert, and we've been having a little chat about something called PDA. What is PDA?
Hi, I'm Nicola Reiki. Thank you for coming along and doing a live with me. PDA stands for Pathological Demand Avoidance. It comes under the autism spectrum umbrella, and the behaviour is consistent really with demand avoidance. So if you give that person a demand, they will avoid it to whatever extreme. Saying that, it depends on how anxious, stressed that person is. But say if you imagine in a normal morning of your children getting ready, get up, get dressed, brush your teeth, wash your face, eat your breakfast, put your shoes on, get out the door. There's normally, sort of 20 demands, and very often children with PDA will, way before the end of, that list of demands, be having an outburst. And that was definitely our experience till we learnt more about PDA and reducing the demands in our home.
And giving the child choices. Well, this is the thing. Some people might be watching now. We've got 6 people watching live. If you've got any questions, let us know and we'll answer them. People might be thinking, well, yeah, of course, my child doesn't want to do what I tell him or her is a demand. It is life. I am the adult, they are the child. What is the difference between just not wanting to do as you're told and maybe an indication of something more serious?
I think it's about it being consistent in its, with PDA, there is often a very huge area of masking, so they will learn how to cope maybe within the school environment, nursery environment or other places because they want to socially conform. However, in other arenas, the fizzy bottle syndrome of when they come out of school, that explosive behaviour. So maybe it is verbally being very angry or physically very angry, throwing stuff, not being able to communicate.
Well, this is fascinating. So the thing is, it often as well, when people have got an issue with a child maybe that has high anxiety or low mood, but they're performing very well in school, they might go and get professional medical help. And if they're not seen as severe, they're not always given the treatment. And I know you had to go privately. Could you tell us a little bit about that? And obviously you had to pay for yourself to go privately, but now you're getting a little bit more help, and there's been a huge amount of relief for you to know exactly what's going on with your son.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For a few years we'd gone through the route with paediatricians, but because of the masking and because of PDA is quite known they're more social, as I mentioned, and a lot of their sessions are much more sociable. So on the surface, everyone thinks that, well, it's just stuff going on at home. We were really fortunate by a chance conversation with someone. I looked up PDA on the PDA website, and they've got a questionnaire that we did, and it just completely fitted our son. And yes, you're right. We went. At the time there were only 4 centres in England. I still don't believe there's one in Wales that is specifically knowledgeable on autism and PDA. And we went to Norfolk, Help for Psychology, where Dr. Judith had spent years understanding, testing people with PDA, really being able to get under their mask, which I got to see very well. And it's meant that we parent in a very different way. We do a lot less demands. We're much more aware that our son, if he plays football on a Saturday, that's all he can cope with. He's gone out and he's done something. And just reducing the demands or expectations of what he's able to do.
Of course. Well, we should say there's an event coming up in Cardiff, the 13th of April.
That's correct.
And also, if you can't make that event, which we'll put a link to now, so please do take a look. There's more information on the PDA website. Is that right?
Yeah.
So this is really, I think, a really important issue when you've got children whose behaviour, you just think there's something not right here. They've got a lot of anxiety. They need to have some kind of order or routine. There's certain patterns of behaviour that
control, manipulation, and if they don't feel that they've got high anxiety, the demands are then placed on the caregiver, and will manipulate situations.
Okay.
And just you were saying about the PDA Society, also Harry Thompson, who's is our speaker. He does YouTube videos and they're so insightful, as well as his book, The PDA Paradox.
But he has it. That's the thing. So I mean, one of the things I would like to say is I'm a former ITV BBC journalist, and I think it's very important that we get these stories out there. And I think it's fantastic. People like Harry is on YouTube, and he's got whatever condition. As I actually saw in real life in a newsroom in the BBC, how people that were a little bit different, they say they're diverse, but I didn't necessarily have the opportunity to work for an establishment if you like that. And I think that's what's so fantastic about mobile journalism, us being able to do this live broadcast now, and you telling a story that may not get out in other different forms. But certainly when it comes to YouTube, you know, everyone can start a channel and everyone can get their message heard. And I think it's very important that we empower people through mobile journalism. So I'm very honoured that you've come and spoken to me and told me a little bit about this. For myself, for my own situation with my children, I think it's made me have a little think about some of the situations that I've been in with my son, and I think is very helpful indeed, and I really appreciate you sharing that. So we're promoting the event. You're also on Facebook, but you can direct people into the right area if they see this broadcast. We'll tag you in as well. So thank you very much for talking to us. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
No, just thank you, and look forward to seeing people on Saturday, April the 13th at the Quakers in Cardiff. And thank you for your time, Anna.
No problem at all. Please share this broadcast as well, and we'll get that message out to help other people in a situation that was similar to yours. Goodbye.
Bye.